Once upon a time, in a vibrant, animated world that danced under rainbows and glowed with the shimmer of stars, there was a curious little girl named Debra. Debra had fluffy red hair that bounced like springs whenever she skipped, dreamy blue eyes that reflected her wonder, and freckles scattered like tiny sprinkles of cinnamon across her cheeks. Debra lived in the small, quirky town of Habiton, where everyone seemed to move like clockwork. Habiton was a peculiar place. Each resident followed their own unique routines that kept the town buzzing like a harmonious orchestra. The bakery opened with the chiming of 6 bells, releasing warm wafts of freshly baked bread that wrapped around the streets like cozy blankets. Milk deliveries arrived precisely at sunrise, marked by the cheerful mooing of Golden, the town cow. Even the sunflowers in Mrs. Bloom's garden seemed to bow in sync at the noon sun. Debra watched everything with fascination. She couldn't fathom how everyone could remember to do the same things every single day. She often found herself tangled in the day, chasing butterflies, playing hopscotch, and building castles in the sky with her imagination. But sometimes, she'd forget to feed her darling guinea pig, Poppy, or misplace her socks and end up with mismatched feet. One windy afternoon, while Debra was walking home from school, she caught sight of Mr. Allen, the gardener, tending to his plants like clockwork. His garden was the envy of all Habiton, full of lush, vibrant colors, and his flowers swayed like dancers. Mr. Allen, called Debra, her voice carrying the melody of wonder. "How do you remember to water your flowers every day? They never seem to wilt." Mr. Allen chuckled kindly, his eyes crinkling with appreciation. "Ah, Debra, it's the power of habits, my dear. It's like teaching your mind to remember a dance. Before you know it, your feet are guiding you to the rhythm." Debra was intrigued by this idea of habits. That very night, she sat at her little wooden desk, determined to find her own rhythm. With a pink crayon in hand, she drew herself a chart, complete with colorful doodles, one for feeding Poppy, another for matching her socks, one for reading a story, and another for brushing her teeth before bed. Each morning, Debra would hop out of bed, greeted by the sun's friendly peeping, and start her routine. She fed Poppy first thing, dusted her socks off, carefully choosing matching pairs, sat in her cozy nook with a book, and ended her day with a minty brush and a bubbly smile. At first, she found keeping up with her chart a bit wobbly, but as the days rolled by like a playful tumbleweed, Debra noticed something magical happening. Her days felt smoother, like skating on silky ice. She no longer had to think about what to do next, for each habit was a stepping stone leading her merrily through the day. One sunny Saturday, Debra decided to tweak one of her daily habits, adding a new goal to plant a single seed in her garden every week. Over time, this space blossomed into a riot of colors. Much like Mr. Allen's, her emerald sprouts reached out to soak in the sunlight, and soon butterflies danced among them, leaving trails of pixie dust. Debra's newfound understanding of habits spread throughout Habiton. The townsfolk noticed her happiness and curiosity. She even started a habit club in school, where she and her friends crafted little habit charts, sharing stories of their accomplishments and plans. Through her colorful journey, Debra realized that habits didn't just keep you organized but allowed room for more magic, for they freed her up to explore new adventures. On some days, she'd climb trees, feeling the wind weave a melody in her hair, or write letters to the moon.